Over Fang, but Luru goes in and just immediately deletes the Zoe. They're trying to get the invulnerability down. Anti is here in the wings. Doesn't have the unstoppable force available. There's almost no HP left, and Bloon is going to have the smite available. Guilty trying to steal. It's so low. Who picks it up? It's the Misfortune. But now Anti is here wreaking havoc. Luru very low on HP at the moment. They're going to try and chase down onto Warplay. That is 3 kills going over. F is asleep in the back right now. Street Smurf trying to find damage, but he's not going to be able to. It looks like they're just going to be able to walk out of there. Guilty finding a vision pocket again, and there goes Bloon, just blowing up on the side. It is godlike for Luru, and now SLR has the option. As YOLO, you have to try and go for this. You know that Anti isn't here. He is sitting on the sides right now. Guilty's not here. They can't find the engage, and now Anti with the biggest angle he can explore. The engage is there. Misfortune's already gone, and now the bear slap is going to run down onto the Ivor, and that tree is going to get knocked down. It is deforestation from the bear, jumping down onto Bloon, who's still trying to make a run for it, but it's not going to last too long. Guilty trying to get himself involved with the K burn. They're finding the way in, but Anti walked off the side. I don't know where he is. He's not going to be here for this. This is 4v3. Opportunity to find a kill onto the bear, and they do, but here comes wiping YOLO off the map with a massive unstoppable force onto 4, and it looks like it's going to be 25 of those cursed book stacks. Final game of week number 2. It is going to be between Team EEK and Team Fat Pikachu. My name is Escape. I also go by Spencer, and I'm once again joined by Erebus.
Hello. I'm very excited to be here again. And looking at the draft, a lot of ADC bans coming out from Fat Pikachu, which is to be expected with someone like Kongzi on the team.
Yeah, I actually didn't even catch that. That was almost immediate. They want to take away a lot of those power picks. Obviously, Lucianami has taken a hit. But they want to get those all off the table, and immediately they've got the flex pick in for, I was going to say Irina and Oriri, but I've noticed Oriri is into the top lane for this game. This is interesting from EEK. They're once again running a new roster.
It's very interesting. I've played with Oriri once top lane, and he played top Alistar, and he didn't do anything, and we won. So look out for that. Yeah,
that is Oriri's threat, is the Alistar into we win, regardless of participation amount. Actually does have a really, really good Alistar. Now, Fat Pikachu, I don't know if you've seen these drafts before, Erebus, but they are going to hover Kennen on pretty much every single pick because Electric Rat. So let's not get ourselves too excited about that. What we can get excited about, though, is the chaos that once again is going to be brought from this bot lane duo of the MS Amumu.
I'm really hoping to see a team pull off the combo at some point in time. I want to see a full bullet time into a 4-man Amumu, and I will be the happiest person alive. Nyla and Nyla Yumi insta-lock.
Ooh.
I don't like Nyla. I'm going to be honest. Last time EEK played Nyla, it didn't seem like it worked out great. I know the potential for it, but I'm hesitant.
I want to agree with you, but last time the Nyla was picked up without the Yumi, and has the Seraphine there. So that is 2 sources of healing and shielding that can be boosted up by that passive, and they're playing a more battle bus oriented composition where they're trying to stay in a big ball and just force the team fights forward. They're going to be survivable because of the Seraphine. That has some potential to be really dangerous. Kindred picked up for Doyan. Now, Doyan really likes those carry junglers.
Doyan is a fantastic carry jungler on Kayn, Talon, and Kindred specifically. So I'm really excited. I personally love Kindred. We tried to play it one time. Our jungler sucks, so it didn't work. But Doyan is very good, and I'm very excited to see how this works out.
Oh my god, I wasn't expecting that. Oh god, all right. Was not expecting the hate on X there. X has been having a bit of an on and off season, but yeah, no, Kindred's going to be locked in. There's going to be a lot of it seems like solo lane's mainly taking the focus right now. Obviously, both of those bot lanes have been taken from either side. It is going to be the Yumi and Nyla into the Misfortune Amumu, unless that Amumu wants to go mid or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we'll keep up with the kind of unpredictable trends. Maybe it's Kindred AD carry. Misfortune support, a lot of options.
Yeah, okay, that's true, and I'm like really worried that that's something that they could go for, because obviously last game was just such a mix-up that I don't know what's possible anymore. And definitely a lot of room for some craziness. Not too crazy to see that Udyr, that Diana, Silas taken off the table, and the Pantheon also taken away, which is interesting, because to me that has to be towards Stormbliss. And that's not a pick that I've seen be effective top lane really at all. Sundubu, maybe having a look at that Corki. Now that is a good way to make this kind of longer range composition work. They want to shut down the engage. That's a brilliant pickup.
I really like the Vigar for the counter engage. I think it's really, really strong. It also really helps enable bullet time and a Mumu to kind of set things up.
And it can also deny the only way that EEK have into teamfights so far is just running in a straight line. And that is exactly what Sundubu can shut down with that Vigar pickup. So that's going to really let them break up these teamfights into two sides. They get to take it at their own speed. It's going to make it very difficult for EEK to do their thing. And I don't know that Ornn really helps their cause there.
I'm not too fond of the Ornn pick, to be honest. I think he's a great champ. He offers a lot of utility. He just, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what they pick top to counter it.
It's obviously going to give room for scaling, and Oriri needs to be on a comfort pick right now. That's very far out of his his comfort zone. Oriri is obviously known for the support play, had a very successful season on jungle, the one season that he did play it, but it's going to be XT locking in for that Jarvan. It's good to see XT back once again. Going to be on that engage, and once, that does give some more pace to this engage, which is exactly what EEK needs. They need to be able to get on top of that backline very quickly. But between the Kindred, who's going to be allowed to sit down and just let the MF do whatever she wants to do, there's a lot of room for Fat Pikachu to make this composition do something devastating. I'll be real with you. I wouldn't mind seeing a Kennen here. That'd be pretty good.
I would like Kennen, yeah. Shen? Shen would be okay. Okay.
Shen, gonna facilitate some engages, do some protection. Okay, I don't hate what EEK has put themselves together, but I really like what Fat Pikachu has.
I'm gonna go with EEK. I think they have just the most ridiculous amount of healing, and I am a Kongzi fan. I think that with that much extra support, Kongzi's gonna be able to just kind of steamroll his way over.
Yeah, it's gonna be a game of team fighting. We're gonna have to see how things play out as we roll on into game. And it's a game that could really be decided to an extent by laning phases. Because if one person gets ahead to an extent here, it could get really, really devastating.
Now, I noticed XT actually has Unsealed Spellbook, which I like a lot on junglers. I saw it in a professional game, and it seemed extremely, extremely strong. You don't need Smite at all times, right?
Yeah.
It's just it enables a lot. You have the exhaust. You can just go in. You have way less of a chance of dying. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and the only thing that's a bit concerning is you need to make sure that you pick up something that you can burn. Because if you're sitting without your smite and you can't get rid of your ignite or your exhaust or whatever it is, it starts to get a little bit dangerous. It looked like they wanted to play a little bit aggressive on the side of Fat Pikachu there to try and get in towards that top side. Hold on, engage found there from Reen. Now Blackpink is going to play over the wall, trying to find some damage onto Kongzi, though that Conqueror has proc, and they're going to trade it.
Yuumi grabs it
up for the Yuumi. Kongzi's going to be able to get away from that, though, and now Blackpink, without that flash, is going to get chased down by 3. Irina carrying the Yuumi towards this misfortune. Sundubu's going to try and sit down on the back. Now, there's no abilities available. There's the flash forward, the Q. It's not going to kill. And now, the trade back onto Sundubu. These games have been bloodbaths today.
I don't like those flashes out of misfortune or out of Sundubu, to be honest. I think those are a little aggressive. Definitely had some payoff to them, but at the same time, you're just not in range. You know, look at Vigar. He's walking down from Raptors. They have a weird kind of setup. They had 3 guarding red during this fight.
And it was just chaos as soon as they got caught out. Put them in a lot of trouble, but just like that, you know, they're put in a difficult position. There's not much they can really do about it past that, and it's, you know, just going to roll into laning phase with a gold advantage towards the side of... it's escaping me, EEK.
Yeah. Yuumi sitting on the Amp Tome, I actually think is not the worst person to pick up the first kill.
Yeah, no, it definitely things could be worse.
I'm really interested in Doyon's pathing this game. Kindred is very difficult to play in 5v5s, I think, just because the mark kind of indicates where you're going to want to be going unless you pop it while you're walking into the lane. And then if, you know, if like his mark spawns on Gromp, for example, XT can just leave Gromp there. It's very risky for Kindred to go and contest and try to get a mark if it spawns in the enemy jungle.
Yeah. So it's just going to be things going back to neutral for a little bit. Obviously, this Kindred is going to want to farm up in the jungle for the time being. So I think things are going to isolate for a little bit, but like you said, XT with that spellbook online is going to be looking for those ganks. Is going to have a lot of extra pressure out of that Jarvan pickup thanks to having access to those summoner spells. So we'll see what he wants to do. So far, it's just going for a 5-camp clear towards the Scuttle Crab. Set up in a very good pacing for it at the moment, but that's going to leave him opening, like an opening to go onto bot lane after that crab takes up, as right now Kongji is crashing that wave into the bot lane turret.
Arena with an early back for a tier looks like it's not getting punished at all. She's going to be back in time for the wave.
Yeah, no, it's a good pickup. Potential here in the bot lane for something crazy to happen. Obviously, Kongji does have that assist, but didn't recall. There's the Amplifying Tome picked up on the Yuumi, and now Doyan finding that missing Gromp that wasn't taken there from XT. XT is going to be able to clean up, but that is going to be a camp advantage of 2 going over to Doyan, which is really what you need right now as the Kindred. You need to be farming ahead. Great ward there from, I believe, Blackpink.
And XT grabs the mark.
Yeah, just snuff that out. And yeah, it does find the mark. It's the only camp that wasn't up. That is really well played from Doyan. Potential for XT to maybe make his way back into the lane here. He is hanging around for a while. Doesn't have any camps to go to right now. He's not losing out on too much as Kongji wants to try and make this play work. Does find the engage forward onto Blackpink. Very low, and it is going to be the kill going over to the Neela. They're going to go forward onto Reen, and XT going to pick up some kill participation in this bot lane. It is 3-0 favoring EEK.
You know, I was a Neela hater initially, and I think you're right. There's just too much sustain with Yuumi. That was just a lot. Like, look at the trade. There's no damage coming back. You just run them down. What are you gonna do about that?
Yeah, no, it just gets completely devastating. And what do you do really? It's damage is damage. You know, like you can't really complain about it too much. You know, it's she's able to do so many ridiculous things with the Yuumi, because the thing is, right, is that generally the option when you're dealing with a healer, when you're dealing with Soraka or a Lulu, I know she's not technically a healer, but she works here, is if you really can't kill their carries, kill the enchanter first. Yuumi doesn't give you that option, and she's so much more powerful when she gets to ride with that Neela, because Neela is going to amplify everything that she has. Makes it such a powerful laning duo, and we're going to see that get used again and again as Kongji is going to be able to just run forward towards this Misfortune, who's known for how much damage she does at this state in the game, and he's probably not going to care.
Yeah, no, definitely, and it looks like it's just kind of peace on all other fronts. I think this is going to be a bot-centric matchup. Doyan just farming away. XT got that fantastic gank off. Top lane's just hanging out, being top lane. Shen does have a pretty good CS lead.
Yeah, just gonna go to
Vigar has Predator boots, which is something to watch out for.
It's gonna just kind of reset to this kind of gentle state right now. As I say that though, XT is making his way back towards this bot side right now. Doesn't really care that he's losing out on the camp clear right now. It's very heavily favoring Doyan as Kongji's gonna try and take this one before his jungler's even here. Rain missing out on the bandage toss. Now looks like Blackpink is gonna run into a lot of problems here. The bandage toss though, the second one does come through to very good timing, but it is once again Blackpink gonna fall to this Neela.
That is just rough. You don't want to see that. They're going to need to call the jungler down at some point and try and counter this extreme aggression, but the vision on blue side is going to prevent that from happening almost 100%. They're going to grab Crab. They have 2 wards in river. They're going to see Doyan before he shows up. Yeah. Now, there might be a dive angle right here. XT can come and dive.
Find a way onto Rain here. The engage does come under the turret. That Yuumi is very low, but is able to hop onto the Neela. They're getting out on a sliver of HP. Does he want to go for this Rain engage? Yes, he does. But the Stand United is there to protect Blackpink. The shutdown and the double kill goes over to Blackpink, and Stormbless is there to save the day.
That was a great channel. That saves the play entirely. I think it almost evens out bot lane a little bit. As long as Blackpink plays safely, that to an extent neutralizes what happened. See this again.
Yeah, it's just traded back very comfortably there. Able to, you know, like it's all on that Shen TPing in, right? Able to save a little bit of HP there goes a long way, and is able to get 2 kills on that Misfortune. We were worried about how much that was snowballing down there in the bot lane. That's a good way to find it back though. Snowball or not, Doyan's in a little bit of trouble right now, walking towards this pit. Does have that flash available, and XT's gonna just say, hey, I want my blue buff.
XT is tracking very, very well right now, and then Irina keeping Vigar shoved under tower. She's going to be able to do that for a very long time until Vigar is able to just one-shot minions with his W. So there's not going to be a lot of invade potential on the top side.
Yeah, Big wave shoving in right now against Oriri, who's doing a really good job of just keeping even with Stormblast. Obviously, not Oriri's primary role, but very comfortable right now up there in that top lane, just on the Ornn duty. I think every team has done that to their top laner at least once. Just, yep, no, you get this champion, enjoy yourself. But he's going to pull a CF's lead off the turret here, I have to imagine. There was so much of a wave built up there. And that's gonna be really good for that Ornn. Obviously, just wants to get that golden XP in the pocket, just get to that level 14 as soon as he can, and start to get those items coming down right now. This dragon seems to be the focus right now from EEK, but do they want to go for a play bot side first? Kongji has set up the discrepancy in vision to get XT into the play. Irina's sitting there too. Here's the engage flash forward with the Cataclysm. Damage coming back the other way, but they're all able to avoid that bullet time. There's no level 6 from the Amumu, and once again, the Neela just cleans them off the face of the map.
Fantastic ult by XT. Fantastic follow-up. There's not much else to say. You know, you hit the flash, you get the ult, everyone's trapped. It's just a bad time. And then so Stormblast picks up Oriri's 1v1.
That's actually really important. They need to try and find some advantages somewhere, and that's 2 kills onto that Shen now. And that's what you need. You know, like, if you cannot find something in this bot lane, you need to create enough pressure somewhere to where... you know, it's valuable, right? You need to be able to counter this with something. If you can't counter it face on, do it somewhere else. Oriri just overstaying, it looks like. Getting a little bit too greedy for this wave, maybe walking forward. Yeah, the E-miss is great reaction there from Stormblast to grab that kill.
Really, really good play. And then they pick up the dragon. Just all around, everything you could ask for just happened for Team EEK. And I'm interested in XT's build. It looks like he might end up going Chempunk Chainsword as his first item. Might finish Mythic, but that's a really good item. It's fantastic gold value. I like it a lot. I think it's a good buy. Not a lot of healing coming out though.
No, I had a chat with Dax about that recently. It's just like, why is that such a prevalent item? And it popped up kind of out of nowhere, as far as I'm concerned. I don't read the jungle patches. I'll be real, but it just popped out. And what it is, right, is you get so much more ability haste and AD from that item that you would get from your Mythic, and it's so much cheaper that it gives you a much earlier power spike, and power spike means potential to get more gold. So if you can abuse that and use it to get yourself more gold in pocket, regardless of how well that item actually scales towards your second or third item, you're getting them faster. So that is the value of Chainsword. We're going to see whether or not that comes into play right now. Room for Sundubu to try and throw down a cage is not going to happen. And really, Doyon needs to try and get something done with this Rift Herald, or just try and get a gank down somewhere, because he's really struggling to get his team some momentum.
XT's looking for a dive again. Shen has ult. I don't know if they're going to go for it.
Yeah, no, I think that's wise. I think just saying, hey, the Shen's already caused problems once before. You know, maybe that's not something that's on the mind right now. As XT's looping back around, they're going to go towards
Shen's back in vision
tower.
now. He was in the tri-bush previously. I think Oriri can cancel the ult if they want to go for it. But they might just be happy with the tower.
Yeah, they're just going to take all those plates up. We're going to go 11 minutes for that first tower picked up for this Neela, who is 5-1 and working towards what I have to imagine is going to be a Death's Dance. Just based on the armor item. Might just be defensive boots. I'm not really sure, but Death's Dance coming through. Spirit Visage realistically would be disgusting.
That would be the grossest thing ever.
It's really efficient, you know, especially if you're facing a lot of magic damage, which they're not at the moment. But here comes the play right now. The flash forward, potentially. Note just going to pop the ulti right there. And now Kongji is on top of that Amumu with a good CC layering. Is really low HP from XT. Might get traded back there. First kill picked up, and now Stormblast is here. Kongji, almost no HP left over this. Yuumi is going to have such a task ahead of him to try and keep this ADC alive. But there's so much healing coming out from that passive. There's no roam down coming out from Irina right now. The taunt barely misses. And now the re-engage is there. Getting back on top of that Neela. There's so much healing out of the Yuumi. The flash forward. That is a kill picked up. Rampage right now for Kongji. Trying to dash away. Not respecting that Doyon can be there, though. It's a 700 gold shutdown. Yumi's going to try and trade back. But that is going to be the taunt picked up. And this cat is just going to be the goodie bag for this play. Doyon picks up a kill.
Started off great. And then Yuumi happened, right? Like you're talking about, Yuumi and Nyla. The amount of healing that came out in that fight is just... It entirely turned it around. That was a perfect Amumu ult, a perfect Misfortune ult. Jarvan trapped his entire team in his ult, which I was worried about in the first place. And it looked great until it didn't.
Yeah, I think really what it was is that they went for that engage onto Reem, and that wasn't enough to make that play work, right? Like, they needed to have some way to stop that Misfortune Amumu combo from happening, and instead what happened was they just all jumped on top and gave the freest Curse of the Sad bullet time over, but this Neela is so far ahead, this Yumi is so broken that it didn't really matter, and really what it is Kongzi's hubris that comes into play here, not respecting that it's been a long time since this fight started. Doyeon could be here, and I think if you just walk away right there's some potential for that to be a completely uncontested play.
Yeah, I definitely agree. At the same time, you know, as an AD carry player, if I manage to get a play like that, I'm probably going to keep going until somebody else kills me, so I definitely have to stand.
Fair enough, me too. We just got to go for the gold at some point. Now, Haunted underneath the turret. Kongji's going to have the option to just get out of there, no problem. And it's just 3 answering in this top lane right now. There's really a discrepancy in positioning right now because it is the bot side of EEK that has moved onto this top side of the map right now. Not interested in this dragon trying to continue the stacking or anything like that. And it's a late recall coming out as well from the side of Fat Pikachu. I'm not really sure as the engage in this top lane is not going to go well for Stormbless. I don't see this Rift Herald doing anything. And it's just been really unfortunate that Doyeon wasn't able to play with any of the priorities that they might have had during that entire duration. This Rift Herald just goes to waste.
Yeah, I'm also very surprised there's no form of anti-heal on anybody on Fat Pikachu. I know that Executioner doesn't do a ton, but you would expect some form of it against Yumi, Sivir, and Isla at this point.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing about it is that, like, they don't really have a good applier other than Misfortune, and Misfortune really doesn't want to build that item because she needs to get her item breakpoints through to do as much damage as possible, and it's going to be dragging picked up, and this is what happens when you put your bot lane on the top side of the map, and that is going to be, once again, another Hextech Soul coming through. This has kind of been the day for it seems.
I think I'd be happy with the Infernal Dragon. They didn't lose tower.
Yeah.
You know, great roam up from Sunbrew cover.
Oh, here we go
and,
again.
Oh.
Sundubu in a little bit of trouble right now, getting caught. Cage has already been burnt. Looks like Shen's on his way back to lane already. The Stand United is there. Kongji has the shield bow popped. They're going to try and chase back right now in a 2v3. I don't know if they're respecting how much damage this Neela has available right now. The Predator has been popped. They're looking for the re-engage. There it is! Popped on top of the side of Fat Pikachu, not respecting the re-engage that Kongji was sitting on. And now Stormbless is just hoping and praying for a kill there. The shutdown going over to that Neela. Great re-engage from EEK.
Fantastic re-engage, and because of that, Doyeon misses out on his mark. Arena was following him up. I think if they had managed to survive a few seconds longer, Doyeon would have been able to come in and do some damage. He was shadowed with a Mumu, but Arena was following. Just a few seconds too late on that run.
Yeah, and they're taking advantage of this on the bot side. They've had so many people on this top side for so long that, yeah, no, I think this is exactly what Fat Pikachu needs to do. They need to try and take control of this bot side jungle. So Riri going to find Blackpink, walks out of the bush, or Riri is going to see it. There's no way that finishes! What?!
And it didn't get canceled.
Oh, Riri! Oh, just missing out on it. Blackpink there, happy to get out of there with absolutely no mana, no flash available. Could have totally been 1v1 by that Ornn at that point.
Yeah, Ornn absolutely wins that 1v1 at this point in the game.
It is a small win.
But you know, red buff is red buff, and you got to grab it whenever you can because the jungler's not going to give it to you. So, take the other teams.
Yeah. Doyeon, that being said, has that red buff on his character, on his person. It's going to be going towards that Rift Herald. So you know what? Neutral objectives going over to the side of Fat Pikachu right now. They're doing a good job of weathering the storm. It's only, I say only, a 3k gold lead at the moment, but that is going to help neutralize it. Hopefully they can get some better use out of this Rift Herald than they did the last one. But Neela, with that XP in pocket, with those bonus stats that she gets off of every crit item that she's going to bring in, she gets like 700 gold extra off of every crit item she finishes just on her passive stats, not to mention the bonus XP that she's scaling off of. This champion gets so scary as the game goes later. She's going to hit level 18, probably one of, if not the first person in the game to do so, with that Yumi. So this duo is going to become a force to be reckoned with, but there are some tools to deal with it, with the Kindred, with the Vigar, with the Amumu, and we'll see whether or not that matters. There's an opportunity for 2v3 right now. Kongji may be getting a little bit ahead of himself. Just going to disengage out of there. No option for Reen to get in. It's level 7 to level 11.
That is just unfortunate. Now, some bright spots. Shen is very far ahead. Doyeon is farming fantastically, and Vigar's been able to catch side waves uncontested for about 17 minutes. Eventually, Vigar is going to be doing a non-insignificant amount of damage. And if he times his ult right, he might be able to turn the fight around.
Here's the pairing again. It's the bot lane of EEK plus XT. Do they know that Doyeon's on the side there? Yes, they do. Great engage found onto Doyeon. It looks like they're not even going to need their ADC there. The ultimate does get popped. They're going to try and go for this respite. See if they can get him out of there right now. The Stand United there is huge, and a big bullet time over the top there. They can't find the kill onto the Neela. Going to be able to live for so long. Can't get the Yumi back on board, though. Now trying to re-engage on a Doyon. Kong Z on no health at all is going to survive. It is 2 for 1 so far. Irina's going to be the third to fall from the side of EEK, picked up by Sundubu. And that is a big chunk of change going over to Fat Pikachu, and boy, did they need it.
Yeah, they absolutely did. Kindred ult? I actually didn't think about this. Oh, man. Oh, wait. All right, top lane trades. Okay. But what I was going to say before the top lane bonanza is Kindred ult with Shen ult buys a very significant amount of time for teammates to come and assist, right? Unfortunately, if Shen got his ult canceled, but the shield did go through, Vigar came down, they got the Curse of the Sad bullet time, it looked really, really good. Kongzi got out with 5 HP. It was close. It was a lot closer than you thought, and gold is almost even at this point now.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed, was just some way to find some way to even up the game. And, you know, they're able to do that. That's a big deal. Some way to get anything in their pocket. And really what that is, that's 2 wins, right? That's a gold win, and that is a mental win. Because there is showing signs of life is such a big deal, especially when you've been beaten down by one person running circles around the map and causing problems for you, and they make that Neela bleed. And that is such a big deal when you're starting to lose faith in your ability to play the game. Now we're looking at the potential for a big 5v5 right now in the bot lane. There's no Stand United, so we're going to see the Shen on site for this Dragon. It is up in 2-1 right now. We'll see who's going to make the first play to get on top of her. You know, the Raquel in the mid lane has some potential, but it's not going to be there. And look at this engage right now into Blackpink, who has to burn Flash to try and get away. Cleanse is also there. There's no Flash to get away from the Cataclysm. The ulti on top there. Really good Amumu ulti, but no one's there. Sundubu's going to join the fight late. We've already lost 3 on the side of Fat Pikachu. Little bit of a disconnect there is going to earn value for the side of E.
You hate to see it. Doyon's ult wasn't back up just yet. Blackpink's ult just came up, got engaged on. A little out of position in that spot, but I mean, it's hard to dodge Flash Jarvan Ultimate, for sure. It looked a little disjointed. They weren't cohesively together to be able to contest that dragon, and they got punished for it. You know, Riri's just farming top lane. You know, he doesn't get punished for that. He's catching up. He's just getting Ornn XP. He's going to be able to level an item up pretty soon. XP gained is going to be a big, you know, as those ornaments start to come through, once he's going to roll into those level 13s, level 14s, and actually start to give over some of those mythic power spikes. Just hold on, we're not going to have a chance here as Stormbless is already on top of Riri, has the ultimate available, but there are 3 members of Fat Pikachu already up here. Doyon is in the wings, is going to have such a big slow off of that E available. They're not even going to be able to catch up right here. The mark has been burnt on the Ornn, but Riri is out. That is a tanky boy right there. Shen doesn't put out the most damage, but Riri is going to be able to stand there for a little bit of time before anything bad happens to him.
Yeah.
And Vigar, he has a very significant CS lead. He's almost finished his Death Cap second item. He's just farming sides, getting stacks. He's going to be an issue eventually. If you know, the Curse of the Sad bullet time with a Vigar Q, not going to be fantastic. A W, even worse. It's going to be interesting, I think, once the next team fight rolls around for the Infernal Dragon.
And I think what's worrisome is the longer that Fat Pikachu are allowed to just sit here, the bigger that Vigar is going to get. And you know what? Kongzi is huge. That's undeniable. 10-2 on this Neela right now. You have a Yumi in your pocket with a Mikhail's. Really hard to deal with. If Sundubu can just press R and take you off the map, it doesn't matter. And we're not there yet, but we're approaching that. There's going to be a death cap rolling in. There's got to be a lot of stacks on that Vigar right now. They're going to get amplified by that item getting finished up. And Kongzi isn't going to get one shot necessarily, but Neela gets lower, and then her healing starts to kick in. Obviously, you're not healing preemptively that much on that champion. As soon as she starts to get low, Sundubu is going to have a window, and it's going to be very difficult to make those fights work. And I like what you're saying about how much potential this Vigar really has to swing fights.
Yeah, and you know, Shen has the Thornmill finished, so if Shen gets on to Kongzi, that healing is going to be reduced, not an insignificant amount. So if the ideal play, XT goes in, Doyan pops ult, Shen gets in, flash ults or flash E's onto Kongzi, and then they just blow Kongzi up and clean up the fight, and they go to Baron. I think that's their best play. They got to look for it.
It's going to be try and isolate and make things work right now. If you're Fat Pikachu, obviously they very much are still on the back foot. So you just have to play relaxed. You have to play slow, and do your best. You know, like it's very simple to say that, but like you can't give moments in laps of your attention at this point, right? Because you're kind of on that teetering point of like 2,000-3,000 gold deficit where small losses really compound. You can't afford to give away a death for free. You cannot. You can't give away a dragon for free. Nothing can go away without some sort of retaliation, and you have to do that all without making a mistake. It's going to be very difficult, but there's a very obvious window for Fat Pikachu to get back in. It's just not going to be easy to do.
Again, we see Serpent's Fang popping up too. Jarvan has Serpent's Fang, which I think is a very good pickup into the Shen.
Yeah, no, you noted that.
If he times it right, I think that's going to very well neutralize Shen's usefulness in these team fights.
Yeah, no, and a lot of what he can do is just play that side lane and then obviously use that Stand United to get back in. And yeah, Serpent's Fang, great buy. You know, I'll be real with you, Serpent's Fang doesn't come to mind too much. There's a couple of those items in this game where it's like, oh yeah, it's in the game, right? Serpent's Fang is kind of like the ward stone of AD carry. You know, like a Serpent's Fang comes up when you're an assassin because it's a cheap item that gives some decent stats. But I feel like you never think of it when you're playing ADC. And it's a completely valid option. Like it is very, very strong. It gets some like good neutralization of shielding, which is a big deal at the moment. But yeah, no, it's just an item that we don't see too much. We've seen it twice now, and it's been very valuable. I think it's going to be valuable this game. It was definitely valuable in the last one. Itemization is important. I like to see those types of things coming out in Mythic when itemization is very, very... it's easy to get caught in, this is the best build, this is what I need to be doing every game, and that's not the case. Hold on, there's an engage right now from XT, doesn't quite catch Rain with the Seraphine ulti. Now they might try and find a way back in onto this Jarvan. This Fortune flank could actually be devastating. Kongji is even more so. Big ulti right now. The Lambster Spike might give time for Blackpink to get here. There's so much room for a big bullet time. Completely off to the side, though. Blackpink missing the angle. And that is 2 deaths going to be 3. Doyeon has no way out of here. This Neela is going to clean up this fight 9 seconds before Dragon. That is soul point for EEK.
Kindred can save you for a while, but the cavalry did not arrive that time. And then I don't know if there could even be a good angle on Misfortune's ultimate at that point. Most of the team was dead. They have a Seraphine and a Jarvan just staring at you. Get out what you can, but it's just, you got to be there earlier.
That's such an unfortunate ulti. I know. That's one of those ones where you click it, and as soon as you do, you're like, it's going to miss. You know? You have those moments on certain champions where you're like, oh, geez. Oh, no. But it is going to be bullet time. Not necessarily delivering on the intention there, and it's going to really miss out on some opportunity there for Blackpink to turn that fight back in their favor. It is Soul Point, I believe. No, yeah, going to be picked up for XT just now. And that Hextech Soul is going to be devastating if Neela can slow you on most of her autos.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult to deal with, to say the least. I do really like the Neela, the Neela kind of pull in with the Jarvan ult, with the Yumi and the there's so much layered CC that all does damage.
Hold on. Oh, there was some room there. I feel like if Reen just pulled the trigger, there might have been room to get that kill before Riri is there, but it's so hard to kill that Neela right now. 4 items already done, working towards what I assume is going to be a QSS. Try and get that extra layer of CC protection just to make sure that there isn't a threat. And Kongji is just once again having those games where he goes, all right, put the team on my back, get my backpack, let's do this game, let's win it. And it's been massive so far. Help from XT, obviously, to get him rolling, but that ball has never slowed down.
Yeah, that is a 4-item Neela versus a 2.4-item Misfortune. That is not something you want to be dealing with.
No, and it's rough. I mean, we keep having to look towards Sundubu right now. 268 CS right now, farming incredibly well on the Svigar. Doing a really good job. Hold on, TP there from the Jarvan. Maybe looking for a flank right there. That's very valuable. Yeah, the Cataclysm is used onto that Vigar. Are we going to see it? I don't know if our camera's going to move over, but that is going to be a kill going over for
dead,
Arena.
And he uses Flash. Okay.
Very valuable. The Ornhorn getting burned in the top lane as they're going to try and find a trade onto a Riri at the moment, but it's going to be Inhib turret going down. Inhib soon to follow. There's going to have to be a recall coming through from Fat Pikachu. Right now, they only find the kill on the top laner. It's just been farming in peace. And maybe a little bit of an overextension here, but no, it's just going to be kills picked up. Inhibitor, though, is the big prize there for EEK.
Yeah, I mean, now they have infinite Baron pressure, right? Or infinite Baron pressure, right? You're going to have somebody down there to clear. They don't have fantastic people to clear any super minions type from Vigar, who does have teleport, doesn't have flash. Me personally, I would not want my Vigar having to teleport into a fight. If you kind of spot out where he's teleporting, Jarvan's going to have a great time just getting on top of him.
We are going to get a replay of how that fight played out. Now, we did see the TP come through from the Jarvan, which we talked about that spellbook being very valuable, and that is going to be how he found his way onto XT, and, you know, once that came through, great ulti from Arena to catch the flash as well. We didn't see that.
That was a really good ultimate from Arena.
Yeah, but that is kills picked up. Very well done there. Extremely high value. We're ticking towards this potential Hextech Soul at the moment. 2 minutes on the clock right now for that. It's going to have to require some very intense setup. This is really the last chance for Fat Pikachu, obviously. They're literally on a timer right now. They have 2 minutes to find a fight that works for them. They can do it beforehand. They can't do it after. They need to find some way to break through this, because I think even if you ace after the soul goes down, it's just too hard. There's so many stats that have been given over by that point. There's so much attack speed, so much ability haste, and so much damage that comes from that soul. That it's just going to get way, way too hard. And I think that they have to make a play soon. They're sitting very far back. They're going to try and wait to the last moment, try and get those items.
I think they just look Baron at this point. They're going to have to. They're sending 3 for a Riri. That's a free Baron.
You know what? I think this is a good play. I don't know that they can contest the Baron. I don't know that they have to contest the Baron. They're going to find this kill onto a Riri. They're going to give it over to Blackpink. And this Baron's just going to disappear. There's so much damage out of Neela at this point. She's allowed to stand in auto. She's just going to delete things. The Baron does go down. And EEK once again looking at an advantage that could be game-ending.
Now, it looks like Kongzi's not going QSS. Kongzi has a null magic mantle.
Yeah, I don't know what that is anymore.
I'm not sure what that. I'm not really sure what that's going to. Maybe Force of Nature?
Wit's End? Or, what? Yeah, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea where that's going. I don't think it really matters. What
I don't think it matters either, but it is interesting.
I've said it before. This could literally be like, you know, just about anything. You pick up like a little bit of honey and just add it to this build right now, and that will just work wonders somehow, because this Neela is unbelievably scaled up, has so much XP in pocket, actually out-leveling the Ornn at the moment. And this tower is about to feel that beating right now. Re-engage coming through there from Arena. Stormblow's taking a lot of damage. Reen looking for the opportunity. It's a huge ulti, but there's no follow-up. Blackpink was not in position. Great flash to get away. And now the bullet time over the top might actually get some work done, but they can't kill. The battle bus is too strong. Triple kill for the Nyla. No one falls. The healing is too much, and that has to be game for EEK.
I think that team fight went as well as you could have wanted it to go for Fat Pikachu. Oriri and Doyon were not there, and they were not near it in any way, shape, or form. Interesting kind of positioning on their part, but, you know, that's a 10k gold lead with a 16-kill Neela that has a Yuumi attached, so that just kind of happens.
2-2 score for EEK, picking up their second win against Fat Pikachu, who is still unable to claim a Nexus so far. It's been a rough entry, but welcome to FOF.
EEK also did not lose a tower that game.
Nothing comes easy here. Yeah, no, and really, I feel like it's a bit of a broken record with this team to say that Kongzi played well. Might be a little bit surprised to hear that, but yeah. I think this MVP vote might be a little bit slanted towards that ADC role, but once again, just putting the team on his back and dominating.
It was from level 1, it was just a very commanding lead coming out of Kongzi. And when you have Yuumi attached to Kongzi, maybe that's just the Kongzi diff, right? They had the Yuumi Twitch. I feel like you might need to start banning Yuumi, to be honest. Yeah,
no, and Yuumi really has been the delivery for that team. It's just like, hey, we can put the Yuumi here. We're going to let Kongzi just be a stupid powerful champion thanks to the Yuumi, and it is working wonders. Has been working very well. It will continue to work well, and I think that's going to be how teams have to adapt.
I'd say EEK's looking significantly better from their 2 losses. I know that they had 1 win that was Twitch. It didn't look super clean, to be honest. I mean, Twitch went sicko mode, right? but it wasn't the cleanest game. This game looked very, very coordinated. Their macros seemed fantastic. They didn't drop a single tower. They were on every objective. They just knew what to do.
Yeah, they were on the ball and looking very, very good for EEK. Of course, we are going to have an interview with one of those lucky winners on the side of EEK. They worked hard and they earned that win. We're going to hear their thoughts on that, and then we're going to wrap up for the night. Thank you to everyone who turned out. It's been a really good showing for Mythic today. And make sure you don't miss this interview that's coming up right after this short break.
Hello, folks. Chris Edgeworth here with our final interview of the night. Trying to make sure I watch my audio levels for this last one. I got to keep my mic right next to my mouth for this one. I got to check those audio levels after this. So bear with me, folks. I know there have been some notes in the chat. Can't fix it while I'm streaming. Sorry. So, well, I am joined here for this final interview, as I was about to allude to, with the bot laner of our victorious team, EEK. They did put the fat Pikachus to bed. It is Kongzi of the bot lane. How are you feeling?
Honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. How about yourself, Chris?
I am pretty hype. It's been a good day. There's been some great games of League of Legends that we've got to watch. Some pretty hype matches, and you know I couldn't be happier with this way to round out the second week of Mythic. We're only 2 weeks in, and it's already been so exciting. And you have been one of the most exciting players that we've had in the league for Mythic this season. But I have to start off with talking about the team at large, because there has been some mischief, so to speak, with the roster, in that we see different sides of this team with certain shakeups, and I want to get your thoughts on what is EEK.
So EEK as a whole, I feel like I mean this is pretty much like how this entire thing started. I feel like EEK is probably XT or Elton, if everybody knows him. I feel like this is his love child. And whenever Elton isn't around, it's kind of hard to play, because I mean he is a big machine for our team. He pushes our team forward. He sets everything up for us. And all together, I love the guy to death. He is one of the people I've known the longest coming into this team. And I mean, his game knowledge, because me and him used to play on a team like 3 or 4 years ago. His game knowledge since then literally has not changed or fell off, and he has gotten like a million times better. And he always amazes me with how much he is able to do as a player and how much he actually knows. And like altogether, I feel like he is actually the heart of the well-oiled machine.
Wow, that is certainly some high praise. Let's turn our attention here to the draft itself. This was just the Enchanter's paradise for you, my friend, getting to pull out the Joy Demon in the bot lane. It's Neela coming out, which I have been corrected before. I'm not going to make that mistake my first time talking about this champion. Neela coming out. You had the Yuumi stapled to you. You did have the CEO of the LCS, Seraphine, in the mid lane as well. Talk to me a little bit about the draft you folks had planned out and what you ended up against.
All right, so our original plan for this entire draft, well, at first I want to make one thing clear. Ori, I can't say his name. Oriri made the draft. I mean, the man picks what we need in the top lane. He plays the Ornn, he plays the Malphite. Also, to that degree, he also inted every time I told him to. And that was probably the biggest thing. But outside of that, Arena, I mean, it's just straight disrespectful to leave Arena Seraphine up. She is probably the GOAT at Seraphine, and you can't pick your AD carry and support blind against me. If you pick your AD carry and support blind against me, you're asking to lose every game. Because especially if you pick a lane like this, I always just have the Nyla. I always luck Nyla here, because Misfortune can't play into Nyla. And then since she's very immobile, you just pair that with the Yuumi and J4, and their entire team is pretty much immobile to that degree. They can't do anything. They just get wombo comboed in J4 ultimate with Seraphine ult and Yuumi ult every time. And so there's just like almost zero chance for us to lose this game, because we have so much overlapping damage, and our team works so well together because of Moonstone from Yuumi, the AoE shielding from Seraphine, and then if you also put that in together, my ultimate, it also, for all the damage it does, it shields and heals my teammates in a radius that's a gigantic radius. So it's a really powerful champion, and when you pick it in the correct situation, it will 1v9 games, because it is not just a regular AD carry, it's a bruiser AD carry. And what's more broken than a bruiser with a Yuumi? Am I right?
I mean, there's a couple things that I want to bring up about this, because one, did you see the last game, by the way? Were you watching the last game?
Yeah, I was watching the last game.
It's exactly like you said about the MF, because we literally, folks, reminder, just moments ago, watched a Lane Lee Sin just absolutely cave the skull in of an MF the second he got his ultimate. I said, this guy gets Dirk, He hits 6. MF instantly dies when he gets into lane, and she just walks the briefest moment out of safety, instantly dead. By the same token with Nyla, it is much the same thing. And of course, one thing to point out with the ADC Bruiser, bro, she's stealing Mordekaiser's old gig, and she has Mordekaiser's passive. And just to add insult to injury, you have these double heal shields with the Yuumi Seraphine, and then her other passive, because it's, you know, the year of our Lord 2022, and Riot puts multiple passives on every champion now. Her other passive then increases those heals and shields. So just a really sterling example of the classic 200 years of experience here in 2022, and you showed exactly why that champion does have its role here in friend or foe, and hopefully to see more play at large in the pro play. I don't think I guess it'll be open for Worlds. I guess we'll see. But yeah, man, crazy game from you. Awesome. I do want to give you the opportunity. Any final thoughts? Any shout outs? Any banter that you'd like to leave with us while you're on the desk?
All right. First things first, I have to say my thank yous. Well, first things first, thank you to my wonderful girlfriend Yaxi for helping us play today. She is not a Yuumi one trick, contrary to popular belief. She plays a lot of different things, but she is very good at the majority of the things that she plays. Also, I'd like to give a huge thank you to Arena XT and Ori. Sorry, I can't say your name, Ori. It's just a southern thing. My bad, bro. The second thing I would like to say is that I was listening to the interview yesterday, and I thought it was pretty disrespectful that you know, I have these diamond players, platinum players, trying to say that they are a better AD carry than me, when in reality, if you were a better AD carry than me, you would be stomping me in lane, you would be out CSing me, you would be doing more than me. But the reality of it is, I do 95% of what any AD carry in this league can do, but tenfold. You cannot compare me, you cannot contrast to me, and I will get to the point where you will not be able to even be in the same conversation as me. So don't get it twisted. And stay tuned. I will 1v9 every game.
I think that says it all, folks. That's going to be it for us here on this interview. Thanks so much for this really excellent day 2, day 4 overall as we round out our second week of Mythic. And wow, so many more interesting games to see, so much to come. Thanks again so much for this interview, Kongzi, and congratulations to Team EEK. We look forward to seeing how things shake up for you as we go forward. And that's going to be it for us tonight on this broadcast. We'll be back on Thursday with the Helios broadcast. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you again for the return of Mythic next Monday. All of that happening at 4:30 Pacific time. So we look forward to seeing you then. Everyone be well, be safe, and good night.
Good night.
'cause you are